Okay, in the top left, playing Emmerich, we have Spotyus, and in the bottom right is player 2. We have XTimeKey playing Wolfar. So this is a very different matchup from what we normally see. They're going for more like mid-tier commanders. Emmerich, considered a bit weak on this map. His crystal can get one shot by a rifle, or at least it does a heavy amount of damage to it. So we'll see how that works out for him. And then Wolfar. Wolfar is hilarious because you can do things like if you golf a unit into the enemy rifle, you can pick off the rifle very early on. And if you get groove early on, that option appears. There is a play where you heal off this village. If they try and capture this one, you decap it. Otherwise, like, you just go up and you decap this one. You bring a sword with you. By the time their rifle comes out, if they're not careful, you just golf your sword into it and it dies. And you're at a massive advantage for the entire game. And I have done that to people, and it has been extremely funny. Alright, what's XTimeKey gonna build here? Just swords so far. And another sword. And he could very well be banking it for a dragon. So early dragon on this map is a very good option. Spotyus going for the mage. It's interesting. Opens up some options. Does give him the ability to heal the rifle if he really needs to. I mean, the other cool thing about the mage is it can potentially kill this in one hit. And that leaves you with your critical bullet. Is, you know, it's a nice thing to have. The mage goes back. Doesn't kill the gate, but the rifle does with the crit. So this can now come out. And what's this sword going to do? Alright, it's going to go for a back capture instead. And that makes a lot of sense. Because if you give Wolfar Groove this turn, then... Oh, actually no. Like, I think he just goes for a capture and then goes for the decap. And that's about the same speed. So... Wolfar... Probably going to capture up here. Or sword could capture. So Wolfar could capture down here. Sword could capture up here. Wolfar walks up, hits there. Sword goes for the capture on the village after. And then you have the sword available for the golf. So this village here is actually a bit of a nightmare. Personally, like, I almost feel like it's not even worth capturing this if you're Spotyus, because you're going to feed Wolfar Groove. And there's this thing, people joke about how, like, if you give Wolfar Groove early, he takes ages to get opportunities, but he has such a strong early game play to kill this rifle. And he might go for it. I think the potential is there. You have to heal your rifle. And you have to do it early if you're fighting against Wolfar, especially if he gets Groove. Because the golf, you just sacrifice a sword to kill a rifle, and that's you ahead the entire game. There is very, very little. And like, this is just going to reload, isn't it? And I guess another sword's going to come out? Yep. And a mage comes out on this side. That's good. Spotyus is banking. So he could be trying to save up for a dragon. So yeah, getting a mage at this point is really useful. And it also means that this can deal a lot more pressure. And the timing on this works out perfectly. He's going to decap this village. And this sword has to heal next turn. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, so Wolfar decaps from the right. Sword captures below. Dog can't hit sword. And then like you've got the sword in position to golf into wherever it needs to be golfed into. Or you could even like run up and golf one of your opponent's units into the rifle. And even if he heals the rifle and you golf like one of their units into it, it's still pretty good. Like it does a lot of damage and to a key unit as well. And here's the difference in the mirror, what we're seeing for fast chargers. Emmerich isn't going to be able to knock this down for Groove. Wolfar is going to have Groove at the end of this turn though. I'm just so curious as to how Spotyus is going to react. TimeKey is going to... It's really scary. Like you just kill an enemy unit. Or heavily damage it while dealing extra damage to whatever your opponent makes. This dog has to run away. And all the while, Wolfar could just keep going in and smacking things. And if your opponent can't kill Wolfar, like you just don't really care. And because there's so much flagstone all over the map, like there's so many places to golf units into. So a dragon comes out, you just golf it into the flagstone and it dies. Rifle captures. Interesting. I feel like that's a mistake because the sword could have captured it instead. And then you heal the rifle. Okay, Emmerich's gonna heal this turn. Good timing on the heal, actually. Isn't gonna bank for anything. Is he gonna heal the rifle? Alright, he goes for the heal. The interesting play. Not gonna happen yet. But there are still options. Like you could still see Wolfar walk in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, so there's no night crit. He could just walk up and punch this village. And there's basically no punishment for that. This sword has to run away. Like the mage can come get it. And this sword can come get it. This sword can come get it. Dog walks away too. Realizes that it's in danger. And you know, like, I guess you don't want to leave units in the range of this rifle. Ooh, Wolfar has to be careful, actually. If he goes there, he's vulnerable on 3 sides, and the rifle's there as well. So I guess it swings over to this side, punches this village instead. Hits it from below, because the night crit's a bit threatening. I guess it could hit it from the left and just eat. Oh no, that's not a night crit. What am I talking about? Yeah, you hit it from the left, capture. Walk a sword forward, because why not? And this sword probably going to back up to this mountain. Good defensive position for it. Might even see like bow swords go on the mountains. Yep. Good safe spot. And there's so much healing done this turn, like Spotyus is basically no gold. Like he's gonna buy dogs, maybe a spear. Could even buy double sword. Or dog swords. Dog. Second dog. Sword comes out. Okay. Just a couple cheap buys. Wants to bank a little bit of money. I think he knows he's going to lose a village this turn. So what does TimeKey go for here? Like, he can easily yoink this village. He has to be a little careful if he does. Just because of the things that could hit him. I mean, actually, it's like a regular night hit. Like, there's a dog suicide, it runs around and suicides. Like, regular sword hit follow-up, potentially. Mage hit. I don't think that's really enough to kill. Alright, this knight moves up to cover. So, and there's like nothing really here that deals with a knight outside of Emmerich. This rifle's reloaded. He's a little bit far behind on this rifle. This does not threaten nearly as much as this does. TimeKey, he's thinking about this turn. But there are safe plays you can do. He can definitely hit this village. This village is really where it becomes unsafe, I think. Because you're adding an extra rifle in instead of like a dog suicide. Because the dog would do like 20 average. 18. 29 on top of that. Sword, mage. That doesn't kill, but it hurts. Potentially traps too. Well, I guess he got like a mage heal to follow up, so it should be fine. He's gonna hit it from below. Safer option for Wolfar. But it means you don't get the capture this turn. Probably gonna see the mage either go to the mountain or the forest. Forest it is. I mean, this is gonna go below Wolfar. Yep. Dog can't run around and hit from behind. I don't think that's even a good option, but just creates like a nicer formation. And TimeKey's just gonna move the rest of his army into a good place. And the cool thing about Wolfar, right, he exerts pressure across the entire map. So, like, he can engulf a unit into Emmerich if he wants to. Engulf, like, enemy units. Like, nothing can stand in front of this because it will get golfed. So, what do we got coming down next? So what does Spotyus do? I've been excited for this golf, but you know, how does Spotyus respond? I mean, he could mirror, go for Emmerich, hitting there from that tile. Probably wouldn't see a capture either. Just go for a safety cap. That would give him groove as well. And then all of a sudden you've got like an Emmerich crystal sitting on top of you. Ooh, this is an interesting position for the knight. Can't really be hit. So... yeah, it's just out of golf range as well. So yeah, he decaps the village. That's quite nice. And he should be relatively safe to get out. I mean... there is a surround potential here. Although... oh, you cover it with the rifle. Okay, this is really smart. If the rifle moves to like this forest, then this is like one of the smartest plays ever. Because all of a sudden, like, this knight can't get out anymore. You would have to capture village and stuff. And if he runs to... oh, but he's not going to go for it. Okay, I think he, like, messed up a little, because now there's a surround on this knight. And this rifle can't stop it. This is a potentially lost cause. Ooh, I think there's actually a bunch of small plays here that aren't great. Like this rifle, not only is it... I guess I would say out of position as far as like not covering this knight, but if he doesn't have the right units in front of it, then Wolfar could just walk up and hit and bring the rest of his army with him. And then you like bait with Wolfar, like 3 sides. He's gonna be very safe. Okay, like he's puts a sword in front. And more stuff is going in front. Oh, but you just golf the dog and you hit it into there. You need to cover the sides of this rifle. Like this dog needs to go here, this needs to go here. And you do not want to let a golf into the dog into the rifle happen. But he doesn't go for it. So the rifle is going to eat damage. Like this is not a good position for this dog to be in. So TimeKey has choices. He can go for this, surround and kill the knight, or he can walk forwards and just golf a dog into the rifle. You even run up and just golf the mage into the rifle, actually. I hadn't even noticed that. That might be a bit more dangerous. The knight could actually come back and like you could get surrounded. There's quite a few units there. I think safe option, surround the knight and just pick it off. You capture here, you get a sword crit. And you just sit this sword here. Because even though there's a dog that will hit, it won't kill. And then next turn you just kill the knight. And you even kill the dog, right. Knight comes forwards, goes for an easy target. This is going to run forward and heal, which means this area here is no longer safe. Crystal can't go down here either. So what is the play from TimeKey? You golf this here. Pretty good. Damage the rifle, you damage the strongholds. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You're out of range of the knight. But I actually think you just walk back and go for the easy kill. Bring a knight in as well, just to have that guaranteed. Finish that off. Put it here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. This knight comes down to here. And then all of a sudden, like, that threatens the crit on that knight. You surround it for a turn. You do a sword crit first. Just to soften up a little. The knight comes and finishes the job. and you hold your groove. And the groove's such a big threat because it does threaten this. And you threaten to gulf enemy units into that as well, and that's even bigger. So we'll see what TimeKey goes for. Both players still playing pretty quick. TimeKey's just thinking a bit on this turn. And yeah, you don't even use your army to fight here. You just like pull it back a bit. That dog's gonna do pretty good damage to these swords. Ooh, I like this. Oh, what are you doing, TimeKey? I mean, are you gonna golf it over?
Good luck on the
Oh no, he's gonna go for the aggressive one. Okay, so that's really good damage, 50% life on there. He's gonna counter wall this knight, so the knight can't really sit where it is. Has to back off. It goes for the damage on the stronghold, goes for the damage on knight, hits the dog a bit. I think killing the knight would have been a cleaner play, because you hold the groove down, and the groove stays a threat. Although he can just kill this village next turn. So he's going to be up at 70% at the end of his turn. You'll have 10% this turn, and then get 50 from the village next turn, plus 10 for the tick at the end of the turn. And yeah, he'll be in a good spot. Alright, what's the follow-up? What are you going to get here? Spear. Good choice. Gets double spear. Always a good option. I say always. It's not always a good option, but it is a solid option. Good defensive units. They're going to beat this. They're going to beat this. Useful against this knight. Would really like to see a balloon come out. Goes for a second knight. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. The rifle, not very good against knights. This knight, probably going to have to leave. What else have we got here? Only one spear. But I think Spotyus is going to be... I think he was banking for a dragon. And because he was banking for a dragon, he can't heal the rifle on the same turn. So this is either going to be a healed up rifle, or he's going to build a dragon. And he can't do both. Because 50% of this is 375 gold. It's a fair chunk of damage. Like the dog, it's what, like an extra 60 gold maybe? So. Ooh, he's gonna throw a heal down? Okay, I guess he's gonna shoot the sword? Yep, doesn't kill though. But he can with another sword. Is he gonna go for that kind of play though? I don't know. What's gonna come next? Okay, he's just gonna bring stuff forward, reinforce this position. And that heal from the mage really limits his buys. Ooh, but he has a spear on this side. So that does threaten this knight a bit. Not massively so. The knight still has a bunch of options that he can do. Emmerich has a balloon, a mage. He's got 2 mages, so Emmerich's kind of building his ideal army of mages and balloons. Balloons, of course, being one of the strongest walls in the game. Once they get that 3 defense from the crystal, they're pretty darn good. Right, knight moves back. Yeah, Emmerich's just gonna hit this village next. Ooh, he's gonna injure a sword? Is he gonna run a dog in to finish the village off? Maybe, but I don't know if that's the best idea, because the knight crit's gonna come down on that dog. And there's really good options for finishing stuff off here. And the thing about if he knight crits that dog, he brings the other knight to knight crit anything that hits that knight. So he's creating a chain of like safety. And that is the cool thing about knights. Is that like if you have pairs of them, they cover each other. I almost wonder if like Emmerich's gonna run across and drop a crystal like here, and then have a sword come down. Because that would just be a mountain. As with that, like everything around it becomes a mountain in this instance.
This should protect
Oh,
us.
he's gonna put crystal here. I don't know how I feel about this, because rifle moves up. I mean, actually... Okay, so this defends this spear. So the rifle isn't going to kill this spear this turn. But he can just shoot it. And that's fine. And now you got Emmerich on what is the equivalent of a forest tile? Next to like bridge tiles. So you're looking at suicides coming in. Not enough to kill actually, but I guess he just kind of wanted to create like a bit of a defensive front. And this sword's not the best place. So alright, here's like one really cool thing that this does. Is if Wolfar goes up here and hits, then like to kill that sword. Dog suicide comes in, rifle shot, double mage crit. A lot of damage coming in. Mage walks forward. Goes for this capture. I guess why not? It's not like... Oh, but... I think that mage is dead. I think a rifle shot plus a regular sword hit will kill it. You hit for 60 normally. And even though this is a mountain, that's gonna... Oh, but he goes for the spear. I don't know. I feel like he could have absolutely killed this mage. I mean, I guess the thing here is that he can just run the knight in now? God, this knight has some really good targets. Hit this village, it can go for the sword. And be safe-ish. Although I guess Emmerich's kind of close. Alright, dog gets cleared. This knight should really follow up the cover. And I think you want the dog to come in and finish here. With like Wolfar pulling up. Alright. Knight's in a good position to cover here. So this knight is actually just going to run around hitting whatever, like going from target to target, and this knight is potentially just going to sit in a position where it will crit anything that hits this knight. And if you're really, really good with your positioning, then you could almost have it so... Okay, so knight runs in and hits there. And this is pretty good. You could even run Wolfar in and hit Emmerich. Goes for the hit on the village. Oh! The like 10,000 IQ play is Wolfar goes in, hits Emmerich, and you drop a mage heal. Because then you're at an advantage and you have what you need to... Because actually, yeah, if you hit this knight with anything like these, the rifle covers this right now. And you got spears following up, so yeah, TimeKey's in a good spot. You just run up, punch Emmerich in the face, take a pretty even trade. Drop a mage heal on himself. You drop this sword in the koi pond. Alright, goes for that. I don't know if that's the best option, but it, you know, it works. He has this dog over here anyway, so. It just makes a really, really weak sword. Could actually run this weak sword over and finish it. But I don't think that's worth it because it opens up more of these options. It opens up more of these units to be able to hit here. So I think you do something like Wolfar runs, hits there. You drop the weak sword in the koi pond. Because then one of these two units is forced to clear. Actually, you could hit it with a weak dog. Interesting. Oh, I guess you could like move this sword over to this tile. Okay, so he's just gonna go for the groove. Free groove charge. Could see this sword go for a capture. Nah, he's gonna clear this sword. That, like, technically threatens a little. Especially if it heals it slightly. Or drops, like, a mage heal on it or something. Anything like that just, like, makes things more difficult. Well, there wasn't a hit on this side for Wolfar though, so it was only open on two sides, but... Just removing your opponent's options, even if they're not good options. And like, you're trading a unit for another unit. Goes for a mage heal anyway. Pulls his forces back. I mean, if Emmerich walks in, he's kind of dead. Because there's a lot of stuff here that can just hit him. From like a bunch of different sides. And like, I think there's enough here to like threaten to pop the crystal, although, you know, this could come forward. Do you do something like load up the rifle into this and then drop it in the forest? Like, you could go for something like that. But yeah, I think this has been a really good turn for TimeKey. He's done a lot of really nice damage. He leaves his opponent with injured units not near the commander. So like, sometimes you don't want to leave injured units near your commander, but if you leave them near the enemy commander, then you're okay. Alright, what are we looking at right now? Spotyus might have to just retreat. I mean, you can go for damage on this side. Goes for the kill. That's 2 dogs for 2 swords. It's okay. But Wolfar can kill one of these dogs. Okay, he's going to use the knight to hit. I don't know how good an option that is though. Because knight crits this dog. This walks back, heals. Knight goes into the forest, hits. Wolfar kills. And he's still pretty safe. Like, sure, he's open on 3 sides, but I don't think there's enough around to be able to threaten him. Unless you, like, balloon Emmerich over. So we're talking, like, ballooning the army over to this side. But if he does that, you just pull back and then kill this. Like, the knight still has good options, has good targets. Like, sword can hit there and other sword can decap. Like, there's a bunch of great stuff here. So Emmerich can't really afford to pull back on this side of the map. Because he will lose villages. And there's a knight here, so they can chain from village to village to village. And I guess you could bring your knight and threaten to hit TimeKey's knight, but I don't know how I feel about that. That's still pretty hard. That's not really enough to justify like this, like leaving units on this side of the map. So I think Spotyus is pretty far behind. His rifle's still injured. Like, he killed 2 units. Killed 2 swords with 2 dogs and left 3 units in a vulnerable place where they can get killed. Hell, you could even see knight comes onto dog. This knight goes around and kills mage. Wolfar runs and hits enemy knight. And then, like, Wolfar has then got knights on either side of him. Okay, Emmerich's just gonna be brave and attack. Mage heal comes down, he's gonna clear the knight. That's an okay play. Emmerich's on full health. Mage gets healed. But if I'm TimeKey, I just go for this. There's a lot of damage, you can kill 2 units pretty cleanly. Really heavily damage an enemy knight. And you have a sword that you can just heal. And there's all this defense. He's walked these into rifle fire. Like, the mage is gonna die, the spear is gonna die. Like, one of those 2 will die. I mean, hell, even a sword could just walk up and kill that, right? Oh, and this is vulnerable. Like, he has to move a balloon to cover. Otherwise, the mage, like, a dog will hit it from the left. A sword will hit it from below. And there's easily enough on this front here to defend this. And there's enough here to crush this. Like, he's gonna do so much counter-attack damage this turn. And he's just walking more units to the right. So, yeah, Spotyus not in a good position. And TimeKey, he's gonna have roof. Oh, people saying there's a transport bug? I had forgotten about that, actually. You cannot drop units where the transport unit started. Okay, Spotyus. He's taking his time. We're like almost 22 minutes into this game. Probably, 22 minutes exactly. And he still has unit builds too. He's going to build a Harpy. Good against these knights. There's not a lot of anti-air on this side of the map. Oh, but Wolfer's going to have Groove. Which, there's this trade, right, where if you have a Harpy and you go off the Harpy and kill it, then that's a... maybe not the best Groove, but it does force that Groove to be used. Alright, so Night Crit comes down here. This is just going to kill this. Yep. Goes for the hit. There's barely anything on this side of the map now. You walk this back and heal. If you go to here, you heal safely. Only the knight can chase you. The dog won't reach. Alright, this picks off the mage. Now how does TimeKey do the follow-up here? Walks his injured sword into range of the rifle? Okay. Kind of makes sense. Like, it walls, and it's not a great rifle target. Wasting a shot on a 2 health sword is not really what you want to go for. Ooh, he's got another spear. But this can't really travel very far, so all this flagstone's in the way. Oh, but he's going to move his army to back up here. And yeah, you've got like knight hits on the stronghold now, not crits. If this was like slightly better positioned, then the stronghold would be almost dead for sure. TimeKey builds his own Harpy. I mean, sure, go for it. And honestly, he can just sit in front of his fort. I do think it would be kind of worth it to kill more stuff, but if that's not what he wants to go for, then it's not the end of the world. Doesn't even heal the sword. I don't know if this is the best play, because like you don't really need to heal Wolfar off this village. And actually, if you go for the heal here, you can recapture it if it gets knocked down, and that's more effective than leaving it. Because you're guaranteed to have 5 health, unless like the sword takes damage, but yeah, I think Wolfar is just really safe on this side. Mage comes out. Yep, you just want to be able to heal the units in front of your fort. Probably going to see spears move into a better position. Ah, this is nice. So he's going to move, I think, this spear up to here. Create this nice little wall. And may even move more units back, but actually this dog being where it is makes it really difficult to punch through. The only gap here, and he might even fill it, although 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, like the night crit will punch through, so yeah, you just leave that there for the moment. But this is pretty difficult to kill. A Harpy could... there's a flagstone tile there, so the Harpy can't quite just run up here, but it can run like along here. So you can get a Harpy in front of here. And that's the useful thing about clearing that mage. Is now this Harpy is really good at walling. I mean, this mage will come down, but he still has a rifle, so if he puts a Harpy here, mage comes forward to kill the Harpy, rifle will shoot the mage. And we're going to see what Spotyus does this turn. I think he's really far behind now. Two units behind. Okay, so he's not... Wait. Yeah, he's 2 units behind. Not the end of the world, but you know, he's still... One of those is an injured spear, one of those is an injured knight. And compare that to an injured sword and an injured sword. And you're looking at... Oh yeah, and like, you know, his rifle's still not full health either. So... This isn't great. And I think this is a bait to get the rifle to shoot this sword. this is a good position for this knight to be in, but oh, even saying that though. Okay, actually, that's kind of funny. So because this is there, Wolfire, funnily enough, is the only thing that can actually clear that knight out of there. The knights don't have enough movement to go into this river. This is just like a really like funny, annoying position for this to be in. Ooh. There's a really interesting play that can happen. Right, he clears that sword. Golf across. He can like lock that. He could kill the crystal with that potentially. I wonder if he can. He can definitely golf this dog over onto the side of the map though. He can also golf his own sword over here as well. And that will kill it and deal extra damage. Because if it dies, it'll die on impact. Which means it's still an open side and it's just a 50% commander groove hit. So it's like it's basically a Koji bomb that has huge range. I don't know if he'd go for it though. But I think one of these knights can pretty safely kill this dog. The harpy complicates things, but got mage balloon, can bring it forward. Let's take a look at what Spotyus is doing. Moves the sword up. Pretty safe for now. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna be able to get through? Do you try and risk breaking the enemy lines? Like, he could kill a sword and that would give him another crystal. He's gonna do it. He's gonna go for it. He's gonna try and get through. Kills this. Doesn't kill the swords. It's on a flagstone tile. Oh no. Right, uses the injured spear. He's got a sword crit. That's gonna eat a spear crit in return. This dog will eat this sword. So he's really trying to needle through here. But I actually think like this knight can just die now. Because the spear will finish it off. And there's enough here to like wall. So yeah, I don't know if this one's gonna work out. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, the harpy wouldn't kill anyway. But this dog is gonna kill this sword. Average 80. Yeah, no way you're living. Even if you're on flagstone, you're still injured. So that's only like a 12% defense tile right now. Right, he's bringing more defense to this side of the map. But if I am TimeKey, I just walk across and I try and do damage on this front instead. Possibly even go for something like a surround. But we'll see. Spotyus does not have a lot of gold. Healed this knight. Bought a spear and a dog. All he's really going to go for. TimeKey, right, so what's TimeKey going to do? I think he's going to do a lot of damage. This dog kills. Absolutely guaranteed. This spear heals? Ooh, what are you doing? Okay, dog crit comes down. I think the rifle clears the spear. Oh, but you're not gonna get a... Okay. He has to drop a spear on this tile. I guess this dog runs up and hits this sword? This is an interesting turn of events. I mean, it keeps the spear healthy, which is always nice. But if he wants to clear the knight, he has to do this right. He has to kill this spear with this rifle. Otherwise it doesn't work. And then he has to balloon this rifle up to here. Right, GoW5's just gonna knock her village down, because why not? Good income advantage. And he's just gonna bring his knights back around. And I think 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Alright, doesn't threaten this anymore, but yeah, he's just gonna move his knights across. Might see the balloon on this, yep. Wants to block that harpy, doesn't want to let his knights take damage. Oh no. What are you doing? Spear crit on... Oh, you could have cleared a knight. That's not a good turn of events. Right, uses that. He's just gonna injure Emmerich, but that could have been a knight kill, that could have been a spear kill. What are you gonna shoot with your critical bullet? How much damage do you do? 15. Gonna reload? Okay. I guess he has a lot to deal with this knight, so he can kill it in his own time. Ooh, this is really awkward, because the rifle's here. But he can't walk the spear across. And he can't really move this mage either. Like, he'd have to move the spear out of the way first. Okay. Another mage heal? Wow, he just wants this to be reinforced to all hell. Okay, so like the thing I'm thinking here though is now that Emmerich's injured, GoW5 becomes very lethal. He's protecting the sword as well, actually. I've just noticed that. It could get killed, but... Oh, and this spear moves around, so outside the rifle range. Alright, so he could GoW5 the sword in to do extra damage to Emmerich. And then like finish him off with like a whole bunch of other units. So Emmerich now has to pull back. And this knight, this knight can like decap this village, which is kind of annoying. There's nothing really defending that. Maybe should have kept this knight like here? Like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, if he kept it on this tile instead, he could have threatened to go back and hit. So we left that flank open a little bit. Spotyus has a lot of money this turn. But his commander can't sit here. He has to run back. Ooh, that's a very dead harpy though. Like, oh, because there's like a flagstone tile right there and a flagstone tile right there. So, and like one right there next to the crystal, so he could even run below and GoW5 it into this flagstone tile to kill the crystal. If he puts a unit there, then he's fine. But you know, there's other flagstone tiles on this map. And you could even just knock the harpy into this, like not even go for the kill on the harpy, just like injure the enemy rifle more. even golf it into this forest tile to hit both? I mean, unless the rifle moves, but you could move on to the mountain to heal, but which is safe. You're not going to get hit by the enemy rifle there, and it does force like this position to be more careful because there's an enemy rifle. Let's take a look at like unit count income. Spotyus is still up on both. Although I think the crystal counts, so it might not be as good as it seems. Alright, he's just gonna walk Emmerich back and heal. Ooh, dragon comes out. Oh, but there's an issue with that spawn. You knock the harpy into the dragon. And that, you know, kills the harpy and injures the dragon pretty bad, so. Body selecting to skip a barracks build, heal his rifle. But this rifle's in a really nasty position now. And he gets a dragon out as well, so we'll see how this turn goes. I do think Wolfar has some really nice options though. Like, if this is left unguarded, you just knock the harpy into this to kill it. That just clears that tile. And then other options are like you golf the harpy into this flagstone tile here. Just get some like really good damage. Spear comes back. That spear is really, that'll just die. Something will sneeze at this and it'll die. You could be baiting the rifle shot, but well, either one of these dogs will reach. Knight walks back. Fence wants to get out of the range of the harpy. And the spears. Yeah, only dogs can chase it now, and you don't want to chase a knight with dogs. Balloon goes to a pretty safe position. That will wall. No units can reach it. Honestly, he's spending a lot of time on this turn. Only got 12.5 minutes left. And we're only on turn 10. So he's really been thinking about these turns each time. I mean, Spotyus does have some advantages. Like, he still has an economy at the lead. Still has a unit lead. So Groove is going to come out from Wolfar. That could change. Positionally, he's doing okay. This knight can continue to chain to villages. You go after this one next, or this one. This is a crit, and this is a crit, so... we can't crit to the next ones after that, but could just see him continue to just knock down villages. TimeKey doesn't really have this option, like he doesn't really have a knight on this right hand side anymore. Oh, he could have killed that knight the turn before. Alright, where's this going? Blackstone up here. Ooh, hits the rifle. I think that could have landed there instead though. And it would have killed the sword and it would have hit the dog. Oh, but he finishes the rifle off. And that's why I didn't put the harpy there. TimeKey at a huge advantage now. When you have a rifle and your opponent doesn't have a rifle, life is good. And he's going to get a big knight crit. Doesn't hit that hard as far as knight crits go, but not really the end of the world. And he's just going to go in, he's going to do a lot of damage this turn. There. Could possibly see this knight hit here. And yeah, his army's just going to come forward now. He needs to be a little careful with this harpy. Don't want to let it get killed by a mage. Knight comes forward. Harpy could safely stand here. It's gonna be incredibly difficult to kill this knight. Heals this knight. Really doesn't want to let it die. This is actually gonna have to be... Let's take a look. This dragon can't reach this turn. Ooh, Harpy goes on this tile. Yep, can't be reached still, so... It has a lot of targets over here, so... Good positioning on this Harpy. And it can run up and like hit a bunch of this stuff as well. Mage, ooh, Mage walks across. He needs something on this side. Spear comes out. Spear's a good option. I think that could have been a knight as well, just to chase it away, but this spear will slowly pressure this knight off of that side of the map. And another mage comes down. He just wants to heal. He needs mages to deal with this hot dragon as well. So yeah, that was a good groove though. Actually, yeah, because like actually damaging that and killing a harpy versus killing your opponent's rifle and damaging the harpy is pretty good. Ooh, I'm not sure about this side, but oh, actually, because he can bring the dragon forward and that covers this road tile. I was thinking, you know, this runs forwards, hits there, but you're really vulnerable if you're left on a road on this map, or in general. If your opponent has a dragon, you don't want to be anywhere near a road. Let's take a look at the income. The Spotyus has done some really nice economic damage, but he's losing the fight. And that's really what it comes down to. Like his unit count is not brilliant. I mean, he can do a lot of damage this turn, like on the counter attack, but then I think Spotyus counter attacks back and deals a lot of damage too. And you know, even has like rifle covering these units too, so like he can lose the dogs. It doesn't really matter that much. He's got a mage covering and a harpy. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this gets hit by the dragon, then a mage comes in and hits it. This gets hit by the dragon, then a mage and a harpy comes in and hits it. And there's a rifle to help clear stuff. And spears are so dangerous against this. There's very little that will deal with them. Yeah, like so much of this is over here, so we'll see. Okay, so Harpy crit comes down, deals okay damage. That's going to allow the dog crit to finish it off. The dog hit finish? Nah. Dog crit comes down. Good use of that. Maybe? See, no, the knight shouldn't finish this because the harpy will come in and counter attack. Oh, that's not where you want that dragon to be. Oh wait, that's the enemy knight. What am I talking about? Yeah, these knights will coming in. Yeah, you don't want to use the knight to finish that off because the harpy would come in. The dragon is now potentially going to die.
Cherry stones defend us.
Okay, Emmeric's going to leave himself body blocking. Interesting choice. The spear does not finish this knight off. But I think this crystal can get popped. I don't... Oh yeah, especially if you leave it right next to a rifle. The rifle can just pop this crystal. I guess the point of this is to do damage this turn. Mage can come down and crit, which removes the spear crit. You're gonna have to use the balloon to get another spear in position. And oh, you can finish the mage off. Okay, so this dragon's actually pretty safe this turn. Spotyus is gonna play this one quite well. You will take damage in return. Like, you don't even need to balloon. Like the spear, if this dies to this, then spear walks across, the other spear finishes the knight off. Okay, so this is actually a pretty good turn overall. Much better than I was expecting. Spotyus has got a good lead. He's gonna have a 3-unit lead right. He has a 3-unit lead right now, and he's gonna do a round of builds after. So really putting the pressure on. And yeah, actually, Emo's making a good point. The timer is really gonna come into play. He's got 7 minutes left on the clock. So you almost don't really think at this point. You just kind of do moves. Like if you can get this kind of lead, then but we're gonna see how this plays out. How is he going to use his remaining units? Yeah, he's going to kill him. Oh, but he doesn't kill a mage because it's on a flagstone tile. Okay. Gonna hit the dog. Do a bit of damage. Goes for this capture. It's nice. The dragon is safe. Lots of pressure on the stronghold. I really think he should have killed that knight earlier, because this is such a good unit to have. Just in general. Yeah. Offense is really nice. Does a lot of damage. Less than 6 minutes left on the clock though, and TimeKey has all the time he needs. He's got 21 minutes. He's playing on way ahead on time. He's also in a worse position, so... He goes for the mage. I don't know why. Like, you could break the crystal. Like, the dog could run up and finish it. I don't really know what he's thinking here. Alright, so he obviously has to go for this play. Like, he moved the spear into position. Yeah, he could have broken crystal, spear crit onto knight. Knight runs up, kills mage. And then I guess there's like a spear hit left. Isn't great for your knight, but okay. And then yeah, like I guess like Harpy comes in, finishes off. And then dog comes in, kills that, so Ooh, this dog comes and kills that. This counter offensive is actually pretty good. Wolfar, he's going to try to build up another groove. This dog can run back and heal. Somewhere, I guess. Spear moves forward because it kind of has to. As long as this balloon stays here, the knight can't really threaten, so that's also fine. I guess this dog doesn't really do much. Alright, Mage Shield comes down, he just wants to keep this nice and healthy. Guess you buy a dog? You just keep building dogs. He did clear the knight, and that's the big threat to the dogs on this. Like, I mean, obviously there's a dragon, but he's got 3 mages. He's got his bullet crit left. And this is dead. This is 100% dead next turn. Like, rifle will kill if nothing else. And this is the Timekey's big advantage, aside from time, is he has his rifle still, and this is putting in so much work. I think some of the plays have been like a little suboptimal, but as long as this is just chucking bullets into your opponent, then it's doing a lot of like really good stuff. And like, let's look over at the overview. Timekey, he's 2 units behind still. I mean, one of those I think is the crystal, but he's doing okay. And like, what does he have to fight with? Like, it's so weird because he's behind, but it doesn't really seem like it. And I think that comes down to like, there's a bunch of swords, and Timekey doesn't have swords. So there's these cheaper units, there's these swords, and like a lot of dogs when you look at it. Timekey has, oh, he's got 4 dogs as well, so the dogs even out. But I think these 2 swords, and actually 3 swords, or tell quite a big story, because like Timekey doesn't have those. Like, he has bulkier units. So we're gonna see how this goes. I don't know about this balloon positioning, because it does leave open this flank. This knight could be hit by the opponent's knight. I guess you could ram a spear into it in return. Harpy could come back and hit actually, so. Ooh, dragon. That's not very nice. I think the dragon's a bit screwed though. And now, ooh, this could run up. Hit from below. Do you want to use the knight to do that, or do you want to use a sword to do that though? Alright, sword's gonna clear this dog. This dragon I think is dead though. But Timekey, he's got 4 minutes left on the clock. Like, he just has to go, like, really just go for it. And he's finally gonna capture these villages, so he's gonna stay pretty far ahead on economy. Oh, that's a big unit lead. That's a really big unit lead, especially because he hasn't finished doing buys. And the pressure is immense. Ooh, that's a crit position for the knight. And dog runs in just to do a bit more damage. I guess you just try and heal Emmerich, and I guess the heal a Harpy as well. Why not? Emmerich heals up a little. He's got 3.5 minutes left on the clock. Yeah, this crystal's gonna get popped. TimeKey, he's got 18 minutes compared to Spotyus' 3. Ooh, crit just punches a hole through there. Okay, so what's gonna happen now? Oh, and he can just drop spears in front here, actually. Okay, spear comes down. You clear there with a spear crit? He might actually just try and grind his opponent's army down. Alright, spears are awkwardly placed. I don't quite understand that, but... Alright, so this spear is going to break that. And now you have Harpy and Mage. And Wolfar could sit on this tile and break. Oh no, he's going to stand... Actually, it's also a pretty good position for that to be in. And yep, dragon goes down. Dog comes forward, clears. And he's just going to leave the crystal. He's actually fighting an opponent at their crystal, and it's absolutely fine. And even though there's this big income lead of 500 and a unit lead, if you include the crystal, they're even on units. And TimeKey still has a buy, so he's actually really holding his own here. I'm actually very impressed by this. And this rifle's just putting in so much work. Like, you just can't break it. There's nothing that can kill the Harpy anymore. His army is back here, whereas this reinforcement is completely fine. And I think if Spotyus had played this a little bit slower and just built up more of an economy lead, it would have been fine. But he's just getting more and more behind on money. And this army just doesn't break. There's so much spear. Like, he's got... Like, what's this witch gonna do? Like, I guess it kills the Harpy? I guess it does some hex? He's gonna have Groove before Spotyus does. Okay, you're gonna Harpy crit. Does that really achieve anything? How do you get through a wall of spear with a rifle behind it? And I think Spotyus might just run out of time. Because, like, if he had a lot more time, he could literally just walk his army back. And just do a whole bunch of buys. And this is the flagstone tile, so your Harpy can't come down and kill. I think he's just dead, actually, at the end of this turn. He's just gonna walk in and hit, and that's it. Like, you look at this, and, like, he has such a huge lead. But he can't do anything with it. Like, he's just gonna try and kill what he can. But he just doesn't have the force needed to break this. And he doesn't have the time either. If he had more time, if he'd been playing faster, he could have just walked back. He could have held an econ lead. He could have built golems. And just, like, traded a bit better. But it doesn't really matter. Like, he just doesn't have enough time. And, you know, he's going to do what he can. This kind of makes sense, but it'll fall to this. Like, 2 mages are going to hit it, and that'll be it. And yeah, like, this is going to be spear crit after spear crit. So much damage coming down. Gonna reload his rifle. A little vulnerable there, but, like, if he kills the dog, he's alright. Mage shield comes down. Yeah, dog's gonna hit. He doesn't even need to kill stuff. If he just weakens it enough, then that's all he really needs. Like, this spear will just finish this off. Oh, the Harpy will. Ah, it's even better. This spear could come forward and hit this spear. Nah, Wolfar's gonna do it. He doesn't even... Oh, alright, he kills the dog. He doesn't even want to, like, decap this because Emmerich could use it to heal. So he's just gonna leave it. Alright, where's this going? There. Balloons the sword forwards. Creates even more of a fortress. And Emmerich is doing the fighting game equivalent of holding down back. When there's only like a couple seconds left on the clock and his opponent cannot do enough damage. Like, he's losing so many units each turn. He just doesn't have enough to force a win. And it's funny because, like, when you were looking at the unit count before, it seemed like Spotyus had more army, but weirdly, even though the numbers back up Spotyus having a bigger army this game, TimeKey has just felt like he's had more units the whole time. And I don't really know what you would call that. Like, I don't know if there's like a term for that or anything. Okay, like the world's biggest hex comes in. But like, doesn't really matter. That witch is still gonna die to like a mage. And I think there's enough here to just like deal a ton of damage. Could even just like groove the witch over here, kills like 2 units as well. Mage comes in, kills the harpy. Nah, he's not gonna go for that. I wonder what he's gonna go for though. I think this might actually be a good time to shoot this crystal. It's Spotyus, like, there's still a threat here. He could still, like, technically kill this stronghold. Right, Harpy dies. Makes sense. What's gonna die next? Just gonna heal the swords? Why not? Kills the sword? Okay, I mean it opens up damage potentials. Are you gonna do it? Is this like Madman just gonna run up, hit the mage, up into the dragon? Go for something like that? Just gonna pick off more units. Could even like surround Emmerich. Ooh, right, witch is gonna get hit. Where's this going? Up into that flagstone tile, just dies. Just goes boom. And he's just gonna keep walling. Why not? Like, you have plenty of time on the clock, your opponent doesn't. Your opponent just doesn't have units anymore. And this is doing so much damage. And you had like this impossible wall of spears to get through. Spotyus didn't bring the right army to kill this. And he didn't have enough time to pull back and build the right army to kill this. Balloons and archers are what he needed. He needed them quite a while ago. What do? Like, you try and get through? I guess like the mage crit will come down. Yep. Is he just gonna go for a hit on the stronghold? His army is like a mage, a dragon, a sword, and Emmerich, and that's it. He's got like a knight quite far back. This could potentially, like, if he keeps Emmerich alive, which I don't think he will, I think Emmerich's just dead. Yeah, he's just gonna kill this with spear. Dragon's gonna get hit and not die, but it will take a lot of damage. And oh, you just like move your balloon to like block. Yeah, spear crit's gonna come down. And I guess like you hit with Wolfar? No, you just get hit with the other spear. Doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but doesn't need to. And he has so much stuff here. And yeah, you just like use this to do that, and then all of a sudden you can't hit the mage anymore. And you just walk your army forward and hit stuff. And yeah, Spotyus isn't even buying more units, he just doesn't have time. If Crystal finally dies, he's got 10 seconds left on the clock, it doesn't really matter. I think that is the end of the game. He hits an extra spear, because why not? He's only got a few seconds left, and GG. TimeKey wins the first game. He holds Darren back and lets his opponent run army into, like, killing that rifle meant so much. That was actually like way bigger of a play than I thought. Had we been on a timer system that allowed for like a longer match, I think Spotyus walks back. Or if Spotyus has been playing faster, Spotyus walks back, rebuilds an army, gets a bunch of like archers, gets a bunch of stuff that like deals with the defensive unit, and then just really sits on his econ lead for like a lot longer and plays the long game. But TimeKey was playing a lot faster, Spotyus was taking his time, and yeah, like it just doesn't work out that way. So we are 1 up for TimeKey. I think like Spotyus was definitely playing well. I just think that like if he was playing faster on top of playing well, then he would have opened up a lot more options. Whereas because he was taking a lot of time on those earlier turns, like going into that mid game with like 20 minutes left on the clock, not really what you want to see. So yeah, doesn't quite work out.